Peace, family. In this one, we'll be going over what they call the Malian invasion or the Mandinka expansion. In previous videos, Origin of the Mende, we discussed how all of these groups from Liberia and Sierra Leone shared ancestry from a man named Foningama coming out of the Musadu area in Guinea. Foningama's clan, the Kamala or Camaras, were a very important part of putting the Malian Empire together. And as the empire started to decline, they migrated. In Andrew Massing's work titled Mani, The Decline of Mali and the Mandinka Expansion toward the Windward Coast, he explains how Camara was an intricate part in putting together the Malian Empire, along with Tore and the Koromas. All of these surnames are very important. The Toroways, helped put together Kabu, and the Koroma and the Camaras, they helped establish the territories of Liberia, Sierra Leone, and even Cote d'Ivoire. But as you can see here, Foningama's grandfather is awarded a kingdom by the Lion King Sundiata himself. They were very intricate parts in this coming of what we call Mali. So, as things started to go apart, tear apart, they had to get out of there. What's not really being told, or what's not really talked about much, is the cola trade. And these people were coming down to take advantage of these different trades. Not only cola, but we have the salt trade as well. And some of these people, such as the Vai, came down in these territories just for this purpose. So some of these Mandinka and Mani tribes, like I said, were coming down in this area, the Liberia, the Guinea, Lower Guinea, Sierra Leone area, for generations. The salt and cola trade had us trading up in Futa Jalon and Futa Toro and, over into the interior of the Malian Empire itself. So it was very important territory, this Konia, back towards the sea. The legends of some of these ethnic groups, they migrated to actually find salt and cola, but primarily salt, is in a lot of these ethnic groups' background as far as, the myth, the reason that they left where they were from. Here you can see the Vai. Same story, the Vai and the Kono came, actually trying to find salt. Then you have those who were invaders who came in and they basically took over and they placed what they call overlords or governors. They called them the pharaohs, farmers, or fariners, different words for different ethnic groups. But as you take a look, all of these words are related. Even Fatima, Fatagoma. But all of these words were basically, what they gave to their governors, these overlords who would stand in and make sure there were no rebellions and people just, pretty much paid tribute to the kingdom. But here you can see the stations of the different farmers and kind of how it worked. As time went on, they had more and more governors, and as they would forget to pay tribute, more and more invasions would come. As you can see, the Shawbros were basically a subordinate group of Manis who were basically stationed on with the Bulum. And as you can see, it wasn't easy. The Bulum actually killed one of their commanders. This wasn't an overnight thing. It took quite a while for this territory to be carved out. There were periods of peace, periods of war. This is just what it was. What's interesting here is one of these rulers, Flamboyant, his title was Donda. And Do, we already explained that as Dogo means earth. In Mende we'd say Domahai or Domahai, which would mean, paramount chief. They know by the names and territories of these people that they weren't just Malinke people or Mandinkas. They had a heavy Southwest Mandi lean to them as well. As you can see, the name Sumba which is one of the territories over by Musadu as well. But everything kind of lines up together. Here it explains that all these groups that neighbored each other, and they were all a part of this Poro society, which is a secret society. What's interesting is this word Poro also means earth or dirt, like do, mud, earth, ground. As more information is available to us and more scholars willing to listen to the oral traditions of these groups, we start to unpiece the puzzle and see that these groups are more Malinke and Southwest Mande speaking groups that were called the Mani. They called these people Sumas. These were the warrior troops. And if you look at the map, you start to see how these groups started to carve out territories for themselves. Through all of this fighting and peace and love and war, these people started to come into confederations and different things of that nature. As we've discussed in our previous Mende videos, the word Hondo, as in Hondo Confederation, it may be a misspelling of Kondo, which it actually turned into the Kondo Confederation, which Mami Yoko, the famous female Mende chief, was the head of on the Mende side. As you can see, all of these rulers from these different kingdoms were actually generals or governors of Montserrat, or these Manis, who had put these farmers in place, and this is basically, once these people started to not pay tribute to the kingdom, they would have these invasions. Sometimes these invasions would be 5, 10 years apart, sometimes 15, 20 years apart. These generals, instead of pushing the agenda of the empire, they started infighting and, trying to carve out trade territories for themselves and, being greedy, not paying tribute. But as you can see, Dogo farmer, we already talked about the Dogo and how the Loco and Mende are connected to them. As you can see, the farmer of the Dogos are right in the mix of, all of this stuff. The Dogos themselves, and these are basically Mende and local groups, So when they say that the Mende, didn't have anything to do with the Mani invasion, here it is right here. And, these are just little things that we can prove. And as I said, more information is coming out, but you can see them fighting over territory and trying to influence one over the other, and all of this stuff is going on. And, like I said, it's war and peace, and these are the things that carved out these territories. And as you can see, these names of these generals and these individuals, they're Bele and Malinke based names. These Malinkes came down and basically settled in a Bele territory. So, of course there was an alliance. These people, intermarried and went on to basically, conquer and carve out lands for themselves, and their offsprings did the same thing. And this is what made these different ethnicities and carved out these different territories that we know as Liberia, Sierra Leone, Cote d'Ivoire, parts of Cote d'Ivoire at least. But here you could even see that Mahai Fambana, is basically telling the people that the Komindi, come out of Konia. You know what I'm saying? So here it is right here. Komindi is definitely, connected to Konia. And this Aldrich, the historian, he actually got rock salt from these people. So they actually produced rock salt in this region as well. As I said before, as you start looking at these groups linguistically and, researching what they've said with the oral traditions along with what's written, looking at maps, you start to see, who these people are, where they came from. As you can see the word Suma, Musadu, Bela, the Bete, all of these places are right here for us to see, exactly where these people came from. The lower end of this map, the same thing. I've mentioned in previous videos that Foningama's mother was from Nzari Kore, right down towards the bottom of the map here, bottom left. That's right next door to Liberia. So it's a good chance these people were just coming home in the first place. But that's about it. I appreciate all the feedback, and thanks for watching. Peace.